the way I came out, I wrote a speech to my team when I was in college. And one of the things I said is, you hear your buddy's dad that says whatever comes in his head when you're growing up and you're a little sponge, right? So I think when youth are hearing accepting language and language that creates a safe space, then that's going to be a huge thing to make people feel more welcome and invited to, and they belong to hockey. My name is Brock Weston. I'm a gay man from Saskatchewan, Canada. Took my undergrad in the States and played Division III hockey there. Just finished my master's degree at the University of Calgary, and then in about a month, I start medical school at the University of Saskatchewan.
How did Brock get into hockey?
Right from as a baby, basically. As soon as you can walk, then we're on. Dad puts skates on you, and we're on the dugout in the winter. And yeah, basically, my whole family did. Everyone I knew back home did. It's a very hockey town.
What do you love about it?
I mean, I love just like being with the guys, the friendships you make. I miss the road trips, but I don't miss the road trips. Some of them got pretty long and pretty cold when the bus breaks down. But I miss, and I loved just like being around the guys, hanging out after, hanging out before, getting to know people on a different level than just meeting them on the street or something. Guys are pretty vulnerable with you because you're part of the family, your brotherhood kind of thing. We always joke about that. Your brother's there. So I think that's one thing that I love about hockey is getting to know people on a pretty deep level. And I'm a super competitive person. So it's nice to be able to lay some people out and, take out the frustrations on the ice.
That said, how could hockey be better for you? And also, how could it be better for the queer community as a whole?
That's an interesting question because, there's steps been taken that are in the right direction. Even just the fact that celebrating Pride Month and the Pride Games and things like that. But I think it kind of goes beyond that. I think it starts at a grassroots level. The way I came out, I wrote a speech to my team when I was in college. And one of the things I said is, you hear your buddy's dad that says whatever comes in his head when you're growing up and you're a little sponge, right? So I think when youth are hearing accepting language and language that creates a safe space, then that's going to be a huge thing to make people feel more welcome and invited to, and they belong to hockey. And I think it takes, parents that maybe have a child that's part of the community, or an uncle or something like that. It's going to take some parent coaches. They're going to have to set the tone early and really create that safe space. And then I think as you climb the ranks, just making sure that you have the right people in the coaching jobs and in the, whoever's working with the players more or less, just to make sure that it's accepting and open. And it's a place we always talked about. You leave your bag at the door, you leave your crap at the door when you come to the rink. When you come there, you go to work with the guys. So making a space where they can leave that at the door and then they're accepted when they walk in. It doesn't matter what happened outside that day or if anyone else even knows, like that should be a space where they want to be themselves and compete. So I think, coaching staff is a huge part of it. And then when you get to a level like the NHL, the marketing campaigns are great. And the NFL put something out the other day that was, hockey is gay, hockey is bisexual, hockey is, and it just continued on and it said football. And then football is for everyone. It kind of finished. And I think things like that, but not just in June, would be ideal. And it might take one player to just come out and play the game and show that they're good enough to compete. And that's kind of what it'll take maybe, but it's gonna suck for them maybe, but maybe it'll be amazing for them. I'm excited to see where it goes, and I hope it's soon, especially with the NFL player coming out. I think that's pretty incredible.
Knowing all that, what keeps you in the sport?
like I said, it's what I love about it. And I've grown to realize that the people that you want to play with and can play with, especially now that I'm done competitive hockey, for the most part, you can be around people that, accept you for who you are. And even I went to play senior hockey last year, never got to. But even before I got there, I knew a couple guys on the team. Um, and one of the guys that I didn't know, who was actually the team captain, before I even got there, told the whole team, like, this is what's up. If anyone says anything, you can deal with me. Like, and just said, like, we're not going to take it. And, we're having him come play. He's going to be a key piece of the team. And it just nipped it in the bud before it even happened. And I think that for me was like, I messaged him after. I didn't even know this happened until one of my friends told me that before I got there, he told everyone and basically said, like, shut your mouth or you're going to wear one, kind of thing. So I messaged him and I said, I really appreciate that. And, it felt good because it wasn't made like a spectacle of it. He just said it, told everyone what was going to happen and went to practice, kind of thing. So I think that's one thing too, not making a big deal out of it. So I think that keeps me playing. In that space, I have lots of friends that they could care less. And I keep playing too, because I miss the competitive and the physicality of it, I think.
What gives you hope for queer people in the sport moving forward?
Well, I mean, honestly, people like you, people like Jim and Sid at Outsports doing what they do, spreading stories for more than just hockey. And I got a few friends I've done panels with from Outsports, like Steven and Adam and a couple other people. And it's people like that are willing to be vulnerable, put themselves out there. And luckily, I don't really know that any of us have worn any hate, really, maybe because we don't have the platform. I'm sure you have. And that gives me hope, because if that many people are starting to come out and continue to play and it's been accepting, then, maybe it is ready. And then, we can kind of adjust on the fly as people are doing it. And people that aren't ready to adjust, maybe it's time for them to move on. So that really gives me hope. And I mean, just culture in general, it seems to be a more widely accepted thing. I love the celebrations, and all year long, I have friends, my partner, his friends have been incredibly accepting. His family, my family's turned a corner from what they maybe were when I was younger, and are amazing. So it gives me hope that people are willing to listen a little bit more now, I think, especially in light of everything else going on in the world. Even with the polarizing, I think this is one thing that people generally agree is normal. Just, it's who you are. So that's where I get my hope from.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I think I'm excited to see where it goes, even within the next, 6 months, year, and then obviously 5 years. And I think, like Carl said in his video, hopefully by then it won't even have to be a thing, like a coming out. I've always joked about that, like, and I think we've joked about it before, like, straight people don't have to come out, they just do their thing. So at this point, I hope it becomes the same.
Brock, thank you so much. I really appreciate you doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and thanks for putting all this together.